Alright, we're cutting over. Let's go. Ooh, we have a lot of Tanchion in here. Alright. People who are a fan of HHH might be in for a treat. Zom has a good start. Unfortunately, they're fighting Adthor, which is really not where you want to be. Chinrei also a character with a little bit of a issue with her early game being a need to charge up the 5 elements in Fuse, requiring her to play cards against her teammate. A little unfortunate. Zom here opting to make their board, you know, as close to all normals as possible. Yeah, I've liked their approach. I just saw someone lose 7 Destiny. How do you lose 7 Destiny? Perhaps the fight preloaded. So we have Hongyu and... No, sorry, Hongyu and Xue Tuan. Wu Wei and Man Man Zhou. And then Zom Addo, Lumu, and Zhen. So yeah, a lot of the people who are looking to try to lock up a MVP have queued up with Tanchion here. Nangongsheng is back. Nangongsheng is eternal. Alright, so I'm start looking pretty solid here. An upgraded Chi card and an upgraded Rush and upgraded Bud makes their board fairly strong. Amanzel's board also looking good with upgrade to the Mountain Cleaving Palms. It's... Let's have a quick look at this. So, Painter, Long Yao, Formation, Tanchion, Painter, Painter, Hulu, Painter, Elixirus. So actually not opting for Formation Master, instead just playing Elixir for the most part, which is a little surprising. I would have thought the appeal of Tanchion would be that you run the HHH Echo Formation setup, but I guess that's not something we're interested in. Instead, it's all Elixirs. Elixir and Painter. So I'm having the misfortune of having to play 5 element cards a little bit rough, which is not ideal. 2 of the Tanchions have broken through on 2 to set up their only traces flank boards. Pretty common. And so has the Wurzer. So a lot of people have opted to break through on 2. So, somewhat surprisingly that the Xiaobu is not one of them. Adthor has... sorry, Zom has won the Bud minigame. They have managed to max their Wood Spirit Bud, which, you know, very impressive. In fact, this board in general has hit a lot of upgrades. Max Bud, upgraded Fletch, Earth Seal for later. Gotta be relatively happy about that. This is gonna be a pretty chaotic, chaotic game. This is Xian. I'll check their side job momentarily for you as we come out of this fight. That one there, yep, that one. I was messing over him. No. This is a close fight. Zhen is Elixir. Thank you, Midnight Falcon. So this is Zhen. So, Elixir, Tanchion. No Formation Master shenanigans here. Just good, clean, good, honest gameplay. Zhen definitely someone we've got a close eye on. Their possibility of hitting MVP for the tournament is pretty high. If they can get one more really solid finish, then they are very much in it. Wu Wei also another person who is in the running for that. Here playing Wurzer. Outdoor running this board that we've seen from them pretty much every game that they played. They like to roll on one for the big sword intent board and then bank some rolls to turn into the painter guard up board. A lot of advantage to be gained from upgrades in the shop for this board. Being able to upgrade your Sky Delicate bracelets with shop bonuses goes pretty far. So we'll definitely be looking at the shop soon to see what they're able to find. And the whole game starts at round 11. I mean, there's some game between now and then. Alright. Convincing win against that board. Also relatively strong board for Zom, which is good too. So we'll be looking to see that. I'm curious to see how these Tanchuan boards evolve as the game goes on. Pretty common to see people not using a lot of exchanges on... sorry, not combining cards very much on Tanchuan. Xian not so much into that. We have upgrades on Gen Hex and Palm Thunder, so prioritizing the early game strength a little bit more than maximizing long game cultivation, which I think makes some sense. I mean, unless you're trying to go for the meme, you know, enemy Tanchuan, that's kind of what you're looking to do. Hongyu and Xian teammates, so they're gonna empty board it here. Lumu has built a very strong formation board. Well, a very comprehensive formation board. Quick look at the shop. So we have Scroll of Recycle. So this game's we're going to be here for the long haul. Scroll of Fusion. So that is what we're talking about. Upgrade to a card. And Scroll of Enlightenment. So this is actually the potential to max any card between these two. So we might see an innate level 3 bracelet. Have we seen any pure healer Tanchuan? We have seen exactly one Tanchuan so far. So I don't think... and that was a HHH board, so I don't think that is that has been the priority. Healer Tanchuan, it somewhat depends. I mean, this is somewhat of a Healer Tanchuan board. It just is going places eventually. So I'm taking the breakthrough turn here a little bit lower on power. These Heptastar mid-games are very competitive. A lot of Falling Thunders going out. Wow. That is a maxed... Potentially maxed Falling Thunder from Xue Chuan. And then the fight that always takes the longest. The old normals. How you doing, Skull Prophets? Yes. All right. Let's just say that this game's over at Thor and Zom, first and second, and we can move on to game 2. Madman's all struggling a little bit through their mid game, but I mean this is classic Xiaobu. You've got the kindness tune. What else can you really ask for in life? Also finding a lot of copies of Ghost Howling, which I think you also have to be pretty happy about. It's a pretty valuable card in your late game. How you doing, Leo Panther? I recommend checking out the tournament rules, but it was 2 teammates fighting each other. So they are trying to minimize damage that they take. You will be seeing quite a lot of that over these next 3 games. So Tanchuan and Xiaobu, both characters who just kind of want to coast through the mid game and lean into their late game power. So the whole lobby is going to be a little bit lower power in the mid game, thanks to these 2 characters being well represented. And there are lots of Manmanzol. Not unexpected when you're running Kindness Tune, though. Zom takes that one down. Ador wins their fight. And Wusue also winning against Lumu. So seeing this lobby stratify a little bit, but as we approach the mid game rounds, things are going to start getting pretty hairy. No Hex Heptastar? I mean, you just hit. Just gotta hit. So in general, the Tanchuans have been looking to upgrade their cards. Which is an interesting note. If you want to win as a Tanchuan, maybe consider upgrading your cards. Couple of team fights here. Zom has found a Scarlet Eye Consumer, which is very interesting. You can make a max Scarlet Eye Consumer. I don't think I would recommend doing that, but you can do it. This is a nice little bonus on top of Spring Rain. The Spring Rain board is going to be very strong next turn. Scarlet Eye Consumer does good work with Spring Rain. Already got a Turbulent and a whole bunch of upgraded cards. So, a pretty good start so far. Peach Blossom upgrade is also somewhat interesting. It turns into a really good multi-hit if you get enough upgrades on it. And Zom has shown us before that they are open to playing lines involving Fragrant. So that is something that might pop up somewhat surprisingly. Noticeably, this Wuzi has not found any copies of any divinations, though it looks like they might be leaning more into the Star Power board. Athor's very upgraded Sword Intent board continues to crush as the normal flurry continues. Both these Tanchuans taking advantage of the team fight to break through to tier 4. So they'll be rolling on the next tier up from here. So Zom's board now, Spring Rain, Scarlet Eye Consumer, Turbulent, upgraded Seal. Looks great. Looks great. Looks like this should be almost enough to not need to roll very much going forward. Athor's already starting to assemble parts of their endgame. Xian once again fighting their teammate. Lumu up against Zom. Not a great matchup for them, most likely. Etuan's board is... well, it's leaning pretty heavily on these Falling Thunders, but these Falling Thunders definitely do pack a punch. And Manmans are also fighting their teammate Wusue. So a couple of team fights here. Zom's following a guide for... they translated for Fulu Chinrei. Everyone's following a guide that Zom translated for someone. If you're an English speaker and you are following a guide, Zom probably translated it. So between Scarlet Eye Consumer and Spring Rain, I don't see Lumu's board of all level 1 cards and a Kako Poisonous formation keeping up. The Cheetah Knight is a little bit funny, but I don't think it matters very much here. I think there's very little agency for Lumu in this fight. Scarlet Eye Consumer, just a real dagger on top of the power of Spring Rain. Athor continues to win, and we have a normal showdown here. So going for Xiao Bu to win this fight, that's a little bit interesting. Her Destiny deficit's a little bit lower than the Wuzi. Wuzi taking Act Underhanded. I believe 3 Dragmoons have been spotted in their hand for Wusue, so they will be ready to make this terrifying board up against Lumu. Don't envy Lumu's position. Their Destiny's getting a little bit low, and this board is quite terrifying. 3 hexagrams, so just enough to power that. Question is, how's Athor's matchup into these Tans? I don't know what these Tanchuans are doing exactly. The Elixir boards can kind of lean in any direction. It looks like it's most likely Formation Master. Sorry, not Formation Master. Hexagram Formicide. I don't have enough experience to say how the Painter boards line up against them. And then the Formation Master board is a whole different kettle of fish. Guard Up tends to be pretty good for them. Alright, so Zom has slammed the upgrade 2 cards button, so we now have upgraded Spring Rain and upgraded Scarlet Eye Consumer. Zom has decided that we are we are settling in for tier 4. Xian's board is quite terrifying. They actually took Divination on 2, so they are not even interested in going for any of this HHH nonsense. They are committed to building up for Formicide by the looks of things. Or potentially Star Power. I mean, they're keeping their options open to both by the looks of it. But really, really not a good sign for anyone running into this. Athor takes down Manmanzo. And it looks like Hong Yu's also being defeated, and Wu Sui defeats Lu Mu. So, a little bit of the rich getting richer here. It's these three, against these three's destiny is quite a bit lower. Both of these Tenchions have taken the Avatar of Birdshade, whereas Xian has not, opting instead for Divination. So Divination means just a level 1 Heaven Hex is already enough for full chase. For a chase, so that might be factoring into the decision. Even in a Starry Moon board, you can kind of roleplay Jiang Shiming with Divination on Heaven Hex into 5 Thunders. So that's certainly a powerful option. I have to imagine some of this swap to Tanxian is just seeing how late the game goes and her endgame being so monstrous that it's quite appealing. Yeah, Addo, a big proponent of Dragon Scales, taking it here. Looks like they didn't have great options for their tier 4 breakthrough, since Prey Rain's just somewhat middling. Trying to block this Heartfire with some defense, but looks like it's coming out a little bit slow. Getting to round 15 is definitely available to Adthor with nothing else. However, round 15 might not even be top 4 from this spot. Ooh, this is so Hong Yu's board is quite cool. Cycle of 5 elements makes their tier 4 very, very hard to crack when combined with 5 Spirit Generation. So pretty much any card is going to create 4 health and 4 max health. Which just makes Child such a nightmare to actually defeat. Close loss. So Zhe'en's board is really strong, but trying to fight this on tier 4 is really an uphill battle. Oh, sorry, not Zhe'en. This is Chuetuan. Manzhou picking up a little win there. That'll be good. So I'm fairly sure. Man, why keep mispronouncing this guy's name? Chuetuan has just picked up a couple options from the shop. Scroll of Fusion, since now they're on their Birdie Shade turn. Oh, Avatar of Birdwind turn. Alright, Lumu is declaring violence. We are just Anthemania and extremely suspicious against Zhe'en. Xian also has a Scarlet Eye consumer, so I don't know where these are coming from, but fans of all the Scarlet Eyes. So I'm not going to be breaking through this turn. They are missing a Cirque and a good metal card, but it's mostly irrelevant for the time being. This matchup might be a little bit tough, though. Child's tier 3 just does so much work against Chinrei that it might be a little bit too much. Athos starting to build up their board. It looks like we're gonna take an upgrade on this bracelet. I love it. Curious to see what this board does. So some of the shop upgrades don't show up straight away. So, okay, so we're going for tier 2 bracelet. Fair enough. I think probably wanted to move back that cheaper fusion. I think this is probably not going to be a win for Adthor, but they have their level 2 bracelet, so now it's just a matter of assembling the rest of the board to go with it. We did see that there's a Mirror Flower and Raven Sword already, so those parts will already be in effect. Cycle of 5 Elements pretty annoying against Zom too. Sort of a chip down is not working quite as effectively against Child as it would otherwise. Good enough. Good enough to take the win. Someone's got to be happy about that. These upgrades really paying for themselves. So Zhe'en defeats Lumu, who goes down to 17. Manzhou's board has improved quite a lot. Looks like they've been rolling on 3. But this side escape plan setup looks like it's going to do the job. This does look a little bit like a Healer Tanchion board, doesn't it? Although it's really a double sideboard. Moving on, moving on. Okay, Adthor does in fact have a max Sky Delicate bracelet. So we have a max Sky Delicate bracelet for Adthor, which generally lines up well against what Xiao Bu does. This Xiao Bu board has improved enormously though. This is a huge number of upgrades. We've upgraded Soul Cleaving, upgraded Shurora. So this is pretty powerful. This is a team fight that well, one of them gets knocked out, loses their cheat death. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, Reeve, thanks for the follow. Alright, curious to see how Adthor's bracelet lines up here. Because generally this is a setup that is very hostile to Xiao Bu. So I'm curious to see how that works. I'm curious to see if that actually plays out in practice. Because this Man Zell's board is cracked. This is very much a enemy Xiao Bu sort of board. The Kindness Tune is officially off the table. We've officially cut Kindness Tune. It is time for violence. How is the bracelet level 3? There's a bunch of shop upgrades for bracelet. So lots of people are going to flash a lot of upgraded cards in this endgame. There was an inspiration earlier. It looks like that's been cut though. It's a lot of upgrades. Pops the guard up, which definitely not ideal, but man, this is just so many upgraded cards. I don't think Man Zhou is winning this one. This looks like it's all Adthor's. Yeah, Max Bracelet's a little bit messed up, huh? Alright. Big chunk. Seeing Spring Rain drop off for Zom here, so not too shocking. And then who ends up losing this one? So Child gets defeated. Xian doesn't have the cheat death, notably, so a pretty big deal. This is Zom's breakthrough turn, and they're fighting Adthor, so it's just going to be 2 empty boards. Curious to see how Xian's board is going. So yeah, as we talked about, this Heaven Hex just chases innately because they took Divination on 2, so they get to run this board that goes Heaven Hex, Thunder Lightning into a turn 2 side. Actually taking the upgrade on that too. Impressive. Xian's board is really, really impressive. I like the late Formicide. We're just not interested in the Formicide damage that much. A lot of sides flying around. This hybrid board. Tier 5 Divination Wutzer, but no HHH. Saddest story ever told. So, Tuetan is on their last legs. They will lose if they lose to Hongyu. They will be eliminated. Lumu has a max Anthemania, but they are fighting against Xiao Bu. Man Zhou is not afraid of Anthemania. It does not do anything. And these extremely suspicious are suspicious. I don't think Lumu's board lines up very well here at all. I can't see Man Zhou losing that one. You want to see the car crash? Alright, we'll watch the car crash. I kind of want to see it too. But I'm curious to see how Xian's board goes. But this has got to be pretty, you got to be pretty happy seeing this as Xiao Bu. Important note that Anthemania formation makes Soul Cleaving deal more damage. The attack down does not have any effect. It just increases the damage by 10%. There's no reduction to go alongside it. Alright, get ready for some big numbers. A little close. The way attack down works with Soul Cleaving is the minus attack has no effect. The debuffs are just treated as force. So It's purely increasing the damage. Antimania is just increasing the damage of Xiaobu's board. Child is defeated, which means Xuetuan is still keeping their cheat death. And then here we have a tick, 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 tick. I'm surprised Adthor loses that one. That's interesting. Alright, everyone is hanging in there. We are down 2 cheat deaths. We have 1 left. There's 1 more cheat death in the lobby and it belongs to Xiaobu. Jet N looking monstrous. Yeah, drifted, that's correct. So, Zom still does not have a UWF, which is a little unfortunate. It looks like they're gonna have a max 1000 evils though. That Max Bud performing one last service. Hongyu giving up their last little bits of destiny here in an attempt to beat Zom. As we said, generally speaking, this is a pretty tough matchup for Chinrei. The 1000 evils is hitting the board. Zom desperately trying to make their chi situation work. It's not easy. Definitely don't want to be on a late spring rain. Spring rain this late into the game, but Max 1000 Evils does ease the pain a little bit. I'd love to see Zom take this one down and snatch the win from Hongyu. Xian is feeling the heat. Alright. Last second swap to Billows to support the Chi situation. Not where you want to be. But there's a Max Wood Spirit Seal, which, you know, speaking of places you don't want to be. Don't want to be staring down a Max Wood Spirit Seal. Max 1000 Evils is no joke. It is cutting this damage by quite a lot. But that Metal Spirit Seal represents something that 1000 Evils cannot help with, which is a Trillion Penetrate. Just a little bit too much damage. Adthor here staring down Splash Ink, which has hit a Weaken. So Tanxian is gaining max HP. And Adthor's not really carrying any defense over, so this is going to be not a great result for them. I mean, Splash Ink never hitting anything relevant makes it look a little bit closer than it is, but this is definitely not going Adthor's way. Manzhou takes down Xian. This is a matchup where Anthemania does a lot more. Still goes the way of Wu Suwei, so I think that's Lumu gone. Game struggling to keep up. We have found the internal injuries. The internal injuries are here. Yeah. Adthor needs a way to carry damage over for this to be a win. I mean, Splash Ink level 3 doing its best. Alright, so Lumu is out, and I think that's the end of their tournament, so good effort, Lumu. Let's see if our home team can rally. Zombie is just not able to draw UWF. It's just not something they're allowed to have, apparently. Ends board quite scary. I think Manzhou also someone whose board is just looking more and more monstrous every time I mouse over them. Max Sticks Agility. So this is now a board that goes chase, 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 and then into a potentially max soul cleaving. I mean, if this sure or upgrades, this is pretty much just a turn 3 kill. This already might be a turn 3 kill. So no one wants to fight this board. I wanna watch these fireworks. Zom and Adthor. Adthor's got 2 fights left. There was a scroll of recycle, which I think has boosted up Adthor a little bit. So they're back up above their 36 HP threshold. So here comes weaken and attack down on Nangong Sheng, which... I mean, he also has not found any copies of UWF, which I'm assuming they're searching for. Unfortunately, not going to get a chance to. Hongyu going out in 7th. Adthor's board's looking a lot better here. Anyway, Sharp Object, we still got plenty of game to play. Unfortunately, not able to beat a bunch of sides. Xian continuing to stomp. Zom's Ghost doing some good work, though. Damn, by Battle of Inches, Zom's Ghost almost takes down Chuetuan. Alright. Wutsue, Manmanzou. Teammates, I believe. Adthor and Zom, teammates. Are these teammates? Shouldn't these also be teammates? Oh, no, right, because their teammates got eliminated, yeah. So, Chuetuan and Xian fighting for their lives. Xian's board has looked very impressive. This divination pickup has really paid off in dividends. This setup has just been really, really good for them, allowing them so much flexibility. A lot of discipline to take this over a cheat death. I'm a big fan of it. Kind of high risk play, but high reward. High risk is maybe pushing it. Just a high upside play, perhaps more accurate. So this is basically 2 non-games. There is a little bit of tension in... we need to make sure we don't eliminate Zom here. If Chuetuan loses this fight, they will be eliminated. Manmanzou and Wusue just throwing cards on their board to make sure they get to draw new cards next turn. Yeah, seems like the goal is to just barely not eliminate Zom. So hopefully that works. I'm a little nervous to watch because I really don't want to see a mistake happen. I trust them though. I'm sure they'll calculate it correctly. Oops. Alright, who sides the sider? It's funny that whoever went first would have just sided the other one. This is a great board by Xian. I'm a big fan of it. That is devastating for Chuetuan. That's game over. That second side just crushes them. Alright, so indeed, this goes to Adthor by a small margin. Okay, good. Alright. And then there were 5. Zom is fighting Wusue's ghost, who is fighting Xian. Adthor fighting Manmanzou. I thought definitely the person with the best matchup against Madman Zo in this lobby, but this board is a bit stacked, so plus this Disrupt Sprite represents a pretty major threat. J-Rominus indeed. Very well mathed out. Jake McNiven, I recommend checking out the spreadsheet for team information. Pinned comment, or you can exclamation mark tournament. Alright. So Madman Zo's Undying Body has been used, so if Adthor can take this one down, then that will eliminate them. But their board looks really well set up against them. Granted, the Spirit Gather does ease it a bit. Maybe the Spirit Gather does enough. And there's an inspiration there if they want it. Well, the Rush Rate kind of doesn't do anything against Adthor's board right now. It just reduces their scaling, which is a little bit threatening. It kind of depends how hard these guard up stacks go. But they won't get chi denied at the very least, which is something. It's a little hard for Xiaobu to deal with any amount of guard up, but I would be surprised if that was enough by itself. The upgrade on the Spirit Gather is good. That means Finishing Touch can hit these cards, which is a pretty good upside. Well, Zom still doesn't have a UWF. Sky Spirit Tune last draw. Alright. A lot of very high value fights this round. So that would have been really devastating previously, but now it does almost nothing. Because this is still just a ton of output. This looks well and truly in Adthor's favor here. Man, Max Guard Up just so good here. Boom. Alright. So it's Madman Zo out. Zom looking pretty good against, I think it's Wusuwei's Demon. They found a Blazing Prairie, so the aggro board's online. Nice. Zom lives to fight another day. Alright, so we're in top 4 now. Zom still doesn't have a UWF. Zhe'en's board just keeps getting more and more frightening. Xian has transitioned into enemy Tan Xian. Man, if you're Madman Zo and you go 5th with this board, I would be... I would not be happy. Wusuwei playing a very cool HHH Polaris hybrid at the moment. The multi-hits will be pretty good against Adthor. I don't think this gets there against Xian. I think Xian's board is just kind of terrifying. The 1000 Evils, I think, comes out a little bit too late here. I think Zom has drawn a single copy of UWF all event. It has been backbreaking. Yeah, Xian's a machine. Xian in a really good position to take MVP after this. Especially if they can convert above top 4. Edenix, the Rat Tribe team, which includes Adthor and Zom, is all English speaking, all from the English speaking community. Alright, Zom. Make a miracle happen. Defeat and be the first person to ever defeat enemy Tan Xian. Let's see it. The difficulty of Adthor against Tanxian is side, really. Side can really mess with Adthor's board. The 1000 Evils does in fact catch the 5 Thunders, which goes a pretty long way. But these former sides represent a ton of damage. I like this board though, that Zom is playing. Wow, it gets there. Man, Zom is a machine. Zom is a machine. Yeah, these sides messing up Adthor though. No one gets eliminated. Everyone lives to fight another day. Zom now fighting Wusue, the other Heptastar board. Adthor fighting Xian, so we've swapped opponents. Zom has an Ultimate World formation. Does Zom need an Ultimate World formation? Funnily enough, this random side could be a little bit of an issue. Obviously, guard up is great against this Dragmoon. I wonder if Wusue is gonna adjust their board to not slam into guard up. Yeah, Zom before the event was saying that they really want to make a tier 3 1000 Evils today. I don't know what the impetus was for that, but they have achieved their goal and demonstrated why it is a worthy one. Maybe it was a bet, maybe. Is Zom just running this back? Wusue's board looks like it doesn't line up super well against guard up. They've moved some of the Dragmoons out, so... This star power... This Polaris play is pretty interesting. I guess just Polaris... Max Polaris just represents so much damage that you just want to play it. Are we just aggro Chinray? Are we just aggro Chinray? We don't have time for UWF. We're aggro Chinray. We want to play our Thorn and our Blazing Prairie. Maybe we're just aggro Chinray. I still kind of feel like I would want to play the UWF, but Zom, you know, Zom's just decided they don't need it. Who needs a UWF when you have 1000 Evils incantation? It looked really good against Xian. Actually speed tied, wow. Jump could have gone first here. It would have been really good for Zom if they went first. They would have got all of that under the 1000 Evils. Granted, all of this is under the 1000 Evils, so maybe this is even better. So, not a lot of output. Yeah, no, I think I was wrong about that. I think Zom going second actually works out better for them here. Though, HHH is still pretty terrifying. This turn is the problem turn. It's just not quite enough, dang. Well fought by Zom, though. Adthor has accumulated 5 stacks of guard up. That was so close. Does that still win? Bracelet proc? That escape plan sure is obnoxious. So Adthor's defense is going up by the looks of things. Alright, we're good. So that's Xian gone. So now it's Zom and Xian split split third, sorry. And then Adthor and Wusue are fighting for first. Xian and Wusue both have had really good tournaments. Really good results so far, so really good for them. This matchup does seem pretty tough. You have to deal with a lot of multi-hits and also sides, so I don't know how Adthor's going to approach it. Looks like we're running this board, double Spirit Gather. and just hoping for the best. Moonwater seems not ideal here, but I don't really know what else you can do. Yeah, Wusue looks like they're somewhat in control here. Alright, so this first card up looks pretty good. This Moonwater formation, not so much, though. The star power angle is really, really good for Wusue. It just means this sort of slow scaling from Adthor doesn't quite get there. That side is all she wrote. Damn. Well fought by Adthor, well fought by everyone. This was this one really went everywhere. I don't think I could have predicted who was gonna win that one for most of the game.